Welcome to SIRA MCQ YouTube channel. Today we discuss advanced level A-level accounting paper 2025 question number 48. This is related to overhead cost absorption. Okay, topic. Let's see what are the requirements. This is indicate following cost of the production per unit production cost. Okay, and total production cost at activity level of 30,000 units, non-production overhead per unit at the activity level of 30,000 units. Look here, firstly we identify the cost of production unit. Look here, we must read this question. Dasun PLC is manufacturing company, okay, and it consists two cost centers. What are the cost centers? Namely machine and assembly. There are two cost centers. They are machine and assembly. Look here, company produces a single product. Only one product is produced. Look here, the information at the activity level of means production units. Okay, activity level of 30,000 units of the company is given below. Okay, there is a production level is production units 30,000. Okay, let's see. Selling price 400 per unit. Okay, per unit. Okay, net profit ratio 25%. Direct raw material 50 per unit. Direct labor cost 35 per unit. Look here, overhead absorption rate already calculated. Okay, 25 per machine hour. Cost center assembly 20 per direct labor hour. Processing time per unit. Actual used hours for 1 unit. Processing time per unit 3 machine hours and 2 direct labor hours. This is next one. There is no opening or closing inventory in the company. There is no opening or closing inventory. Look here, total cost of production per unit. We can calculate this. Look here, I prepared statement cost of per unit, no, unit production cost, unit production cost, unit production cost. Okay, this is the rupees, no, rupees. Okay, what is the structure? Unit primary cost, I write this primary cost per unit, primary cost per unit. How can we calculate? Direct material per unit. All are per unit. Okay, per unit. Direct labor cost per unit. Direct other cost per unit. This is the sum of this. We can get primary cost per unit. This is a production cost calculating structure. Next one, we add unit production overhead cost. There are two cost centers, machine and other one is machine and assembly, no, machine cost center, machine and assembly. Okay, machine and assembly. machine and assembly. After that we can calculate total production cost per unit. This is the final answer. Okay, we can calculate using this information. Look here, firstly we must identify the primary cost. What are they? Look here, this is the question. This one, selling price, no, direct raw material 50 per unit. Okay, 50 direct raw material 50, direct material per unit 50. Okay, 50. Okay, direct labor cost. Next one, direct material is okay. Direct labor cost 35 per unit. Okay, per unit 35. We can direct labor cost per unit 35. Next one is overhead absorption rate. There is no direct other cost, no? There is no direct other cost. Therefore, we can calculate primary cost per unit is 85. After that, we must absorb the unit production overhead cost using the absorption rate. Look here, what are the absorption rate of machine and assembly? Look here, overhead absorption rate 25 per machine hour. 25 overhead cost per machine hour. Okay, 25. This is the machine, 25 rupees per machine hour. You can see this. Processing time per unit 3 machine hours. The absorption rate is per machine hour we absorb 25 overhead cost. Okay, per machine hour we can include 25 rupees. Okay, there are 3 machine hours per unit. Therefore, 25 multiplied by 3 per machine hour we absorb 25. There are 3 machine hours to produce the 1 unit. Okay, therefore I multiplied this. There is a 75 overhead cost should be include to production cost. Okay, there is a 25 overhead means per machine hour. There are 3 machine hours used to produce this one product. Therefore I multiplied this 3. Next one, there is assembly department. This is the information. Overhead cost absorption rate 20 per direct labor hour. 20 per direct labor hour. Only 1 hour 20. There are processing time per unit is 2 direct labor hours. Therefore 1 labor hour 20. There are 2 labor hours to produce 1 unit. Therefore 20 multiplied by 2. 20 rupees multiplied by 2 is 40. This is a 5, 11. This is the overhead cost absorbed. We can get sum of this one, 200. 200 is total production cost per unit. Okay, this is the answer, 200. Total cost of production per unit is 200 rupees is there. Next one, total production cost at the activity level of 30,000 units. This is the total production cost. We know the unit production cost. Okay, total production cost at the activity level of 30,000 units. There is a requirement is there are 30,000 units are produced. In that time and in that time 30,000 production units, in that time total production cost. How can we calculate? You know this is the unit production cost. No, this is the total production cost per unit. Okay, therefore 30,000 units. No, therefore I multiplied this in 30,000. Therefore I can calculate 6 million rupees total production cost for 30,000 units. Okay, one production cost is per unit is 200. For 30,000 units I multiplied this in 6 million. Okay, this is a 1,000. No, 1,000 we can identify. This is the requirement is 1,000. Look here, the requirement is 1,000. Therefore I can use the 1,000, cut the 3 zeros. Therefore we can identify the 6,000. Look here, non-production overhead cost, non-production overhead per unit at the activity level of 30,000 units. Non-production overhead per unit. No, per unit. Okay, look here, I used this production cost formula. This is the production cost. No, this is the production cost per unit. Okay, after that I prepare this final effect of this. You know, this is the total production cost per unit. After that I add total non-production overhead cost per unit. After that we can calculate. The answer is I add non-production cost. This is the production cost. No, I add non-production cost. We can calculate total cost. This is the non-production cost. This is the production cost. This is the total cost per unit. After that I add what is this? Profit per unit. No, per unit. Profit per unit. After that I can calculate selling price per unit. Selling price per unit. This is the structure. Selling price per unit. Okay, this is the formula. This is the total production cost per unit. I add total non-production overhead. We can calculate total cost per unit. This is total cost. After that I add profit per unit. We can calculate selling price. This is our requirement is total non-production cost per unit. This is our requirement. Look here, our requirement is total non-production cost. Okay, non-production overhead per unit at the activity level of 30,000. Let's see, there is another one. Selling price is 400 per unit. Selling price is 400. Here, this is our requirement. This is the final. This is the opening. Okay, look here. Next one, we can use the other information. Look here, net profit ratio 25%. What is the meaning of net profit ratio? 100 to 25. What is this? This is the profit. No, this is the profit. No, net profit. No, net profit. What is this? This is selling price. Okay, the 100 is a selling price, 25%, 25 is net profit. Therefore I include this one to this. This is the actual figures. No, this is the percentage figures I use. 25%. 100 is selling price. This is the selling price. Profit is 25. Okay, profit is 25. Okay, you can find the profit. Why? 100 is convert to 400 by 100 is selling price. Okay, the 25%, 1/4, look here, 25 is 1, 25 here are 4, there are 25 dividing 25, 25 to 25 is 1, 25 into 100, 4, therefore the 4 items are selling price 400, one item divided in 1, this is the 100. Now 100 is a profit. What is the total cost? 300. You know 300 add to profit, after that we can calculate 400. Okay, this is the total cost. Total cost, how can we calculate? Total production cost and non-production cost. What is the non-production cost? 100. Okay, total cost must be 300. 300 is calculated non-production cost and production cost. Production cost is 200, non-production is 100. Therefore, find the answer, we can calculate 100. 100 is non-production overhead per unit at the activity level of 30,000 units is 100 rupees. Okay, this is the answer. Therefore, after that we can find the answer of 49 in next video.